Hello, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Simon.
And welcome back to PolyWaffle,
the arts variety show produced by the students of Melbourne Polytechnic.
In this episode, we're going to check out some artists who have some wicked cool things to show you guys.
Yeah, for sure, Hannah. They'll be showing us things like makeup artistry, acting, and even writing.
But first up, we're looking at a day in the life with Sarah Wallace, an artist who doesn't work in any particular genre, but who couldn't live without her art.
My name is Sarah Wallace, and I'm an artist. Well, I am a painter. I majored in painting and I did about 8 years of study. What inspired me to become an artist, if I think about it, going right back to my childhood, there were many, many things. So being surrounded by an incredible garden and the countryside, and my mum was from the country, so we used to go on these long walks along rivers, and the colours in the riverbeds, the colours of the grass changing over the seasons. So if I'm going outside and the weather's great, I'll pack the car and I'll put all sorts of materials in there depending on what I'm feeling like. So I might just put my box of oils, I might put some watercolours, a couple of canvases, my easel and something to sit on, and something to, brushes and all the materials that I need. I pack into the car and I drive off. And I'm looking for where that sun's hitting the trees. I'm looking for inspiration in terms of landscape and texture and sometimes movement. I couldn't live without art. I have to breathe art. It's my oxygen, if you like. If I go for a long period or even a short period without practicing art, so for example, if I go away for a week somewhere, I have to have my sketchbook with me. And I'm always looking, if we're on a road trip, for example, I'm looking at the red of the soil moving along the road, and then the colour of the crops, this green coming through, and then the colour of the sky as the contrast. You've got these layers of colours. So I'm in the moment always thinking about what's inspiring me, and it's part of who I am, being a creative person.
Even though she doesn't work in any particular field, you can tell she's really passionate about her art. And some might just say that makes her even more dedicated.
I agree. She's incredibly talented to be able to do so many things and do them really well.
Definitely. Up next, we'll be interviewing a makeup artist, Amy, about what inspires her to do what she does.
Hello, my name is Amy. I am a makeup learner. The reason why I love makeup because makeup is my favorite hobby, and when I have an event or going out, I will be the one who make up for my friends. And sometimes I can create people have a different skin type, so I'm applying the makeup for like a different skin type by using a right shade of foundations and concealer. Foundations by AUTOCUE Cosmetic work best because it have your face like giving moisturizer, hydrating, and a full coverage, which can cover a dark circle or dark spot on your face. A concealer, because concealer can cover like a dark circle under of my eyes. I clean my makeup brush too by using a cleaning brush soap, and I clean it twice a week. Makeup brush should be a Real Technique flat foundation brush.
ตอนที่เราจ้องตาเป็นมันพร้อมกับส่งสัญญาณว่าฉันชอบเธอแต่แล้วฝันนั้นก็สลายไปในพริบตาเมื่อมีคนหนึ่งเดินเข้ามาจับมือเธอแล้วเดินจากไปไม่อยากจะขัดใจตัวเองที่มันชอบเธอไม่ให้ชอบเธอก็คงเป็นไปไม่ได้เพราะใจมันคิดไปไกลอยากที่จะดึงกลับแล้วจำเป็นต้องขัดใจตัวเอง
Wow, I wish I could do my makeup that well.
Yeah, I guess. You know, it's not really my expertise, but many people watching could possibly take some tips from it.
In all seriousness, I think her work is pretty amazing and she should keep at it because clearly she's incredibly talented. Next up, we're checking out high school drama teacher Lorna McLeod discussing the importance of theatre in the Australian education system.
My name's Lorna McLeod and I'm a theatre studies teacher at St Monica's College in Epping, and I'm a lover of theatre and live performance just in general, really. I'm currently involved in a theatre group called the Thursday Group, and we are a bunch of actors who train and we follow the teachings of a Japanese drama practitioner called Tadashi Suzuki. We have a collection of marches, walks and exercises that basically empower the actor's body to be able to perform and deliver a really convincing performance as an actor on stage through being physically fit, through articulating movement and the use of voice. It's a really incredible 2 nights a week for me. It's 6 hours of training, and the diverse group of people that come along are quite remarkable. Teaching theatre studies in a secondary school setting is an incredible ride. It has a variety of experiences that the students bring with them into the classroom, and also a strong drive for passion from the students, and usually you have no idea with the finished product how you get there in the big picture, but the ride is incredible.
Of joy and companionship, where the love of our nation reigns. In the name of her we pray. Amen.
Theatre's a really important part of our classroom experience and just in the world generally. It's a place where you can look at things you value. It's a place where our society can be projected onto a space and students can discuss and reflect on it. And it also is a place where you can help understand what's happening around us and build meaning from interactions, both in a performance and in the background. It's a really remarkable space to learn about things because it's based on social interactions, and that's where most of our relationships are formulated, in how to deal with others and how to work with others, and to develop empathy and foster friendships and really meaningful experiences.
Visions that appear, and this weekend idle theme, no more yielding but a dream. Gentles do not reprehend.
As a teacher of theatre studies, I'm reminded regularly of the impact and effect that I can have on other students. Sometimes it's incredibly positive, where it's helping someone to formulate the sort of adult that they want to become, the sort of person that can work well in a group and to be a valuable employee in the future. And also those students who feel extremely uncomfortable performing or working with other students, building up their social skills and their opportunities for them to help understand how they learn. That can be a really confronting time for some people because they really are not enjoying it, and I see my job as one that helps to round out their challenges so that they can have a positive experience with our group and get something out of it, even though they perhaps are a little bit reticent to get involved. So the value that it has for them as an individual can be an incredible learning experience, and sometimes those challenges that people have, they're very resistant to that. However, when the group gets together and has a really special time, it's a highlight sometimes in their life, and it's a time of reflection at the end, and the observation of the growth that the students have had is absolutely remarkable, and to be honest, it's a privilege to be able to experience that as their teacher.
You could really tell how dedicated she is to teaching her students just how important theatre is in the modern age.
I know. She seemed really genuine and down to earth. I can't wait to check out some of her students' plays in the future.
Neither can I, Hannah. But coming up after the break, we'll be getting an inside look at how a fashion designer produces her designs.
And then we'll be visiting an Italian artist named Michael Christmas, before moving on to young artist Timothy Harris, discussing how he published his first novel.
And we're back.
Thanks for tuning back in. We've still got plenty more awesome stuff to show you guys, don't we, Simon?
And we definitely do, Hannah. And you don't want to miss it, so make sure you stick around.
Anyway, I think it's time for our next segment, Personal Development for Artists. This episode will be joining a fashion designer on her journey to produce her eloquent designs using ethics and yoga as inspiration. Let's check it out.
Working in the fashion industry, which I've been working in for almost 12 years now, I have been faced with quite a few challenges for my personal beliefs and values. You know, that the fashion industry, the garment industry, is actually the second most damaging trade in the whole environment, second after oil. Which is pretty devastating, especially to be part of that and to be contributing to that. And I think it was that disillusionment with the industry that I had committed my life to that led me to yoga. To be able to do something else and that was removed from that, that had a little bit more soul to it, more philosophy, and that was part of working with people and supporting people, and hopefully less damaging on the environment as well. So I think, like a lot of people, I initially came to yoga for physical exercise, for relaxation, and it soon became apparent that it was so much more than that. Learning about the 8 limbs, ahimsa in particular, which literally translates to non-violence, and that doesn't mean just physically violence or physically hurting or harming anyone. It's that catching those thoughts of any kind of violent thoughts, which can just be aggression, negativity, not physically actually harming anything or anyone. And one of the reasons I started my label, as I said, being disillusioned from working for other bigger companies who had less care or consideration for the environment or the impact that they were having. One of the reasons I started my label was so that I could have the control to reduce the impact on the environment, which is for me is ahimsa. So, meaning that the people that I choose to work with, whether they're factories in Bali or local suppliers here, are all looked after, are all paid well. Even the fabrics that I use, the chemicals and the dyes that I use, I try to ensure that they, again, have the least impact as possible.
She's got some really nice designs, isn't she, Hannah?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really interesting to see her thought process when it comes to designing them. It's very unique.
I have to definitely agree with you on that one. But for now, something a little bit different than what would normally show on this show. We'll be joining up with up-and-coming author Timothy Harris as he talks about the hurdles he had to jump through to get his first novel, Saudade, published.
My name is Timothy V. Harris. I'm a writer and poet. I've been doing poetry and writing since I was about 11 years old, and I recently have been through the process of publication with my first novella. I'm really into the Romantic era in terms of poetry, and I really like traditional writing. Not more so contemporary authors, but more so in the 20th century and prior to that, because I appreciate their unique perspectives. I always wanted to be a writer since I was a little kid. Like when they'd ask in primary school, like, what do you want to do? I'd be like, I want to be a writer. And to start out with like choose your own adventure books, I really like them. And I still might consider that as I go on. But then in high school I read stuff like All Quiet on the Western Front and 1984, and really got me interested in more political commentary with other aspects like genres like romance and kind of merging genres together. So that's what really got me into writing and how I reached my current stage. I wouldn't say that I had too much of an influence. Like I don't really come from a family of writers or anything like that. It's more of like indifference. Like it wasn't something like it was something they were against, but not really something either that they supported. You know, it's a difference. But I didn't really mind. I wasn't really doing it more for support, but more so to get my ideas out, and if anyone related, that was more so my motivation to write. Yeah, my novella, it's titled Saudade, it's currently under publication, and when the title means, it's Portuguese for longing, and it's kind of, I chose that title more so because the book itself is like a political, it's kind of like a merging of 1984, The Great Gatsby, and kind of aspects of All Quiet on the Western Front, and how Reyne writes, because he inspired me a lot with his writing. But yeah, it's kind of a merger of story and set on like a space station, has a lot of sci-fi elements. It's kind of like a merger of all these different genres to kind of appeal to like a wide range of readers, and that was what my goal was, to kind of get my message out to as many readers as I could, and kind of all those elements together. I felt like the biggest message of the book was like longing and yearning and how tragic it can be. And that's why I titled it that way. But I didn't want to title it something too blunt, like I didn't want to title it Longing or something, because I really enjoy something where a bit of mystique, where you have to look past the first layer yourself to find out the meaning. Because if you just display the meaning there, there's not as special as something where you look into it yourself and then you see, oh, that's what it actually means, and then you have like a personal tie to it, because you actually put the effort into search it out and find out what that thing means. So I got the novella published after talking to about 30 publishers. So there are different ways to publish a novella, or it's any type of literature. You can do traditional publishing, which is with a publisher, or you can do self-publishing with a printing press. And there's also like plans, like kind of mergers where there's mixes of the two. But I went for traditional because I didn't really feel, I had the resources to kind of go for it myself, and I wanted really to just, write it and just leave it with someone else to kind of, market and distribute. But that whole process, I had to go to about 30, and for a new author, it's very difficult because before they even read the literature, they have this kind of prejudice, because they could go for someone who's already established and someone who's already got a name, and writing's very subjective, so just because of that bias, they might not like your writing as much. So I went to a lot of publishers, and they didn't like either the size or the topic of the novella. But eventually, you got to stick. I did stick through it, and I think any type of writer should stick through it, because eventually you do find a publisher that you really like and they really fancy your manuscript, and then you just go from there.
That was really interesting. I had no idea just how much effort goes into getting a novel published.
I agree, Hannah. And hearing him talk about his love and passion for writing from such a young age, and all the troubles he had to go through to publish his novel, just shows his dedication.
No doubt. I can't wait to be able to get my hands on his novel early next year.
Absolutely. After the break, Italian artist Michael Christmas talks to us about a place that inspires his artwork, and Daniel Shaw will be performing his song, Don't Leave Me Now. Make sure you don't miss it. And welcome back to the last section of the 11th episode of PolyWaffle. Have you been enjoying it, Hannah?
I must say I have been, Simon. We've definitely seen a wide variety of talent here today, but there's still more to come.
And she's right about that. Next up, Michael Christmas, an Italian fine artist and animator, talks to us about his art.
My name is Michael Christmas, and I have been living in Melbourne for 2 years. And I'm a fine artist, illustrator, animator. What I enjoy the most about doing art, is that I can get disconnect from the world, in that moment. Inspiration comes anytime in any places, but I think my favorite places to work are like tropical environments, like beach, jungle, forest, this kind of stuff. At the end, I just work at home in my studio. Yeah. What I like about my studio is that I can be free, you know? Because, for example, you see there are many different types of arts in here. So, for example, in my situation, my art talk about life, freedom, nature, music, you know, and traditional cultures in contrast with the modern society system.
His drawings are totally rad.
My God, Hannah. You know, look, I'll agree. They're pretty cool looking, and he's definitely got a unique style. But you know what?
What?
I think we have to end the show.
I think you might be right, Simon. A lot of cool stuff has happened this episode. What was your favourite?
Personally, I liked Michael Christmas because, as I said, he's got a unique sense of style and is very talented. How about yourself?
I don't know if I can pick a favourite this week. I am really excited to see Daniel Shaw perform, though.
I think we all are, Hannah, and I think it's time that we say goodbye.
I think you're right. To end the show, Daniel Shaw will be performing his song, Don't Leave Me Now. Until next time, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Simon.
And thank you for watching PolyWaffle. Take it away, Daniel.
I know that you're leaving, but don't leave me now. I'm getting closer, your heart is fading out. You should probably go, didn't mean it like that, I know. Stop pushing me out, just say that you love me. Don't make this our last goodbye. If I told you I wanna spend the rest of my life with you, that I would drop everything and leave all my baggage behind. Is it too late now? I know it's immature. I know that you're leaving. Just don't leave me now. Just don't leave me now. I know that you're leaving. Don't leave me now. 'Cause I'm getting closer, your heart is fading out. To me there's no one but you. You are the one I love. I'm falling for you, still falling is true. I need to know now. If I told you I wanna spend the rest of my life with you, that I would drop everything and leave all my baggage behind.